G'day folks. I'm just working through some of the televisions that I've got, just making assessments on what goes and what stays. This is a Samsung LCD that I picked up off a friend at work on Thursday afternoon. He also gave me this LG plasma. Apparently it has coloured bars running down the screen exactly identical to that one there, which is a different model with detachable speakers. Same basic television, just a different style. This is the one with the built-in one-piece front, but the same basic internals and the same panel and the same problems. It's about the fourth or fifth one that I've had with that exact same problem, and it's usually a bad panel chip-on film bonded ribbon assembly, and well, there's no way of fixing that, so when I can get it to power on, I'll work out what's wrong with it. He's had it apart, so I've got a feeling he's left the power header disconnected on the main power supply, because I'm not getting anything when I plug it in, so I'm guessing he's disconnected something. Likewise, that needs an X sustain board, and that'll work fine. It's an early 720p high definition Samsung. Everything else seems to be fine in it. I can get the power supply and everything running on its own with X main disconnected, and I've metered all the voltages and everything, and it's all healthy. So it's only as soon as I plug X main in and turn it back on again, the power supply just goes into a complete shutdown mode. It just can't do it. There's a short telling the or forcing the power supply to shut down. So $20. I've got another board coming out of Canada right now to go into that one. Anyway, this is the LCD that I'm working on, so LA40N18BD. Corey tells me he found it on the side of the road, so it's obviously been rained on a little bit, but nothing too serious. I'll only find out when I light it up that whether or not the panel's damaged by moisture, but you can generally let them dry out and they come pretty good. Some cute little speakers in the sides there, running right over the top of the high frequency inverter with no coil on it. Oh well. And there's the main speakers. Tiny little things. I always run external audio on TVs like this. I don't rely on the internal speakers unless I absolutely have to. That's got a suppressor on it, and so does the mains input, but the speaker running straight over the top of that high frequency backlight inverter doesn't. Oh well, you probably wouldn't notice it. But yeah, problem with this one's pretty obvious. Caps. What rail is that? They're 25 volt caps, so that'll be on the 12 volt. I'll be willing to bet these other Shamwa caps are bloody rubbish anyway. They're all junk caps. Samwa caps are just junk. I've learned to call them Shamwa caps because they're an absolute sham. Bulging a little bit, the 10 volt caps. Again, the ESR meter. Perfect thing for testing this kind of thing. You've got to have an ESR meter, and who sent it in? I think it was Gavin Curtis donated the ESR meter that I have. Just invaluable. Absolutely invaluable. If you can buy a Peak brand ESR meter on eBay or RS Components or anywhere like that, do it. They're a little bit pricey, but for the amount of money and time you save doing repair jobs, it's worth it. If you're into repairing any kind of electronics and caps and things like that, it's worth having them. Even if you're just harvesting caps like off a dead plasma, it's worth running them all across an ESR meter before you put them in your parts bin. Otherwise you're just taking guesses, because caps don't have to be blown out like that to be bad. They can look just like that, but they can be internally just degraded. They don't have to be blown out. The typical bulge top or split vent is just a characteristic of a very cooked cap, but not always indicative of a problem. Okay, so I should have realised at first those Jamicon caps are not original. You can see it's been reworked and they've been replaced. You can tell just by the quality of the solder work versus the factory flow. It's completely different. Yeah, the Jamicon ones have been replaced, but obviously they left the other Samwas in there and now they've gone. So I'm going to put the meter across them. They'll probably be fine, but these 25 volt Samwas are blown out. Yeah, was it 1000 mic 25 volt? I'm pretty sure I got a good stash of brand newy either Nippon Chemicon or Rubicon any brands like that. I've got quite a few different high quality brands. I think they're mostly Nichicons. But yeah, anyway, there's main DC tank, or main input cap. Again, Samsung cap. Ugh. Mid-2000s LCDs, they're generally an easy fix if you find them on the side of the road and they're just completely dead. A lot of the time it's just bad caps on the DC side, particularly the 5 volt or 12 volt rail. They're 16 volt caps, so that could be the 12 volt rail, but I'm not entirely sure. What's it putting out? It's inverter control, 5 volts. Yeah, the 16 volt caps are probably on the 5 volt rail, the 25 volt caps are probably on the 12 volt rail, and they'd have 35 volt caps if there was a 24 volt rail. But in this case the inverter's all over here, so it doesn't use them. It's an AC based switching inverter. The other TVs that I often repair have a 24 volt feed going straight off to here, and all the drives done in here. This one here seems to have its own primary transformer, even though I can see some ferrite core. Are those ferrites? Oh no, they might just be connectors for the backlights themselves. Maybe there is no high frequency inverter in here. So my little ramble about the cable needing a suppressor on it's probably wrong. There's the inverter transformer right there. Oh well. Yeah, some TVs have 24 volts coming off, going straight to the inverter, and they have individual inverter transformers, one for every single backlight. This one doesn't seem to do that, so you probably won't find 24 volts up here. What do we got? Got pinouts, 5.2 standby, 12 volt, 5.4 volt, 13 volt, and that's it. Yeah, there's no 24 volts. Just like I thought. Anyway, let's get the soldering station warmed up. Replace these two. If I've got these in stock, I'll replace them as well. That one is a 10 volt 1000 microfarad cap, so that's for the 5.2. And there's a couple of 50 volt 47s there. Again, I've got plenty of those in stock. Let's get into it and then power it up, see if it works. There we go. Got two new ones soldered in. I'm just looking at the job that the last guy did, and they've lifted that trace there. Looks like the soldering iron's gone scooting off across there and scraped the board. Done a bit of a shoddy job of it, particularly with that trace that's just lifted off. That's not nice. My job's a lot neater. I just got to trim those leads down and then that'll be it. No scratches, no buggerizing around. Okay, let's give it a go. I've replaced all the caps on the DC side. Apart from one's Panasonic, the rest are all Nichicon. I left those Jamicon ones in there just for the hell of it. Probably should have replaced them, but who knows. Oh, this bezel has been damaged. The chrome's just falling off. The thing's been out in the weather for a bit, so hopefully the panel's alright. It hasn't had water seep up between the LCD and the diffuser. If it is a bit of a mess, like you see blotches and things in it, it'll still make a good shed monitor. I might put that up on the wall instead of the Sony plasma that's down there somewhere. But anyway, let's power on. I hear a relay. Hey, there we go. It's alive! It's alive! Fantastic. Let's see. Looks alright. Oh, a friend is here. The subwoofer is rattling my shed. Oh, it's Harley in his Commodore wagon. Cool. He's dropping off an automatic transmission for autopsy. It's kind of blown, so it'll be an interesting autopsy. Lots of burnt automatic fluid. Anyway, I better go answer the gate and let him in. Thanks for watching.